how to make an hour-long video that gets watched to the end, repeated, and people actually want to share it. Now, this is a crazy promise. If you watch this video, I'm going to break down how some of these people are uploading videos that fit a certain brand and world building, and how these videos are actually watched until the end, and they're long videos. So, let's jump in. The concept is DJ pop-ups. Now, I want to break down one of my favorite brands, which has a cult following, Aime Leon Dore, and this is an example of their DJ pop-up event, which they uploaded onto their YouTube. Now, this is a very good strategic move because they're able to communicate their values through this. Here's how. First thing to note is it adds vibes. ALD is all about world building. This vibe that they're creating by doing this DJ set brings you into their world. They curated this DJ. This DJ is most likely known for his curation of music and his taste and how he's mixing all this. And so you have the DJ and the ambience and the aesthetic of the place. Now this creates brand affiliation. So with this brand affiliation, you can see that the taste in music, the aesthetic looks good, and the feeling of this looks good. So the brand affiliates with this DJ affiliates with the place around him, which is decorated probably to the best that it could be decorated because ALD is at the top of its game right now. And it communicates to whoever's watching this certain shared values. So when somebody watches this and they're like, hey, I appreciate the DJ, I appreciate the place, I appreciate this world that I'm in from watching, let's dive in and see what else they have. And then from there, this person becomes more entwined with the brand and the world that this brand has created. And so let's jump into the aesthetics and talk about aesthetics for a second. Because aesthetics has many different core groups, but when you're making something, for example, if you're doing fashion for the urban crowd, maybe like a upper income urban crowd, versus maybe a feminine brand that's doing things for the masses, these have different core groups and the aesthetic is going to be different. And that also breaks down into sub-communities that we'll talk about in a sec as well, because as all of this aesthetics coming together, there's many little pieces from different sub-communities that come together and represent who or what this brand is. So let's go through an example of a brand that I like. We're gonna talk about this Humano Studio set right here with Bryson Wallace. And right off the bat, this is just a beautifully shot scene. So we can look at a couple things that really stick out. So the way that it's framed, he's 2/3 of the way up, implementing the rule of thirds. You can see in the back there's certain imagery, and then there's a lot of plant life. This plant life element is also similar to my setup here. I have the plants, and it all contributes to that similar effect. Now, you could also see the tiles that they have in the back and that big wooden cutting board or something. And all of this is thoughtfully placed and curated in a way that looks good and is representative of this brand, Humano Studios. And I'm personally not an audiophile myself, but maybe if somebody is talented in mixing, they can chime in and tell me what types of mixing sets these are. And I'm sure some of these DJ sets, they're wearing the best headphones, or like it's a niche. There are so many of these core subgroups that when you wear a certain thing, you could speak to them. And this is like back in the day when people wore raw selvage denim in 2010. Everybody that has that, it's like one of those if you know things. And when you meet somebody else that has a if you know kind of thing, you kind of in a way connect with each other and know that you have a shared value. And so that's what they're doing here with this type of shot and the way that they're setting up the curated space. And so you can see here with their other shot, their other angle is that he's also 2/3 of the way up. It's shot very well. It's framed where he's in the dead center and the two poles in the back just spread out. And so it's visually pleasing, also shows that light, which kind of has a mid-century modern feel to it. And then it shows the DJ set with the plants in the back, just kind of highlighting into the scene. So all of this is carefully thought out. It's not just a random shot. It's a well-presented, good-looking shot that shows like, hey, we are understanding of your aesthetics and we are also understanding of the world that you come from. Now, this other shot that they have here with the sliding table in the orange color and the blue color of the back with the tile cabinets, that's also something that's curated and thoughtfully put together. So you can see on the handle of the blue cabinet is white. White is complementary to the white tile cabinet or island that they have on top, or the top of the counter. And then that blue is this electric blue that you see everywhere these days. I want to say this is one of the trendiest colors right now. And then along with that trendy color, there's the orange of the sliding case, where the DJ, the one who's mixing, put his records and his backpack on. And all of this is curated and thoughtfully put together. So this whole scene here communicates the aesthetic values that this brand has. And if somebody fucks with the DJ and likes the music, likes this world that they have, they'll probably check out the other videos, or at the least keep watching this video and want to show it to others. Now we'll dive into that in a second. The next part I want to talk about retention and sharing and why people are continuously watching these videos. And so the first time that you see this brand, you get a curiosity element to it. It shows who is who, where this is, and given the vibe matches, you might notice some of the things that are going on here, like the decoration, the music, and then you're curious on watching into what's next. Going into the page itself, noticing the DJ name, noticing the studio name. Like for now, if we pull up this example of a Vietnamese set, it's called Quen Nha Nhạc, I think, and the title is Sunday Afternoon, you get transported to this world of a haircut salon or a haircut place with a DJ in front playing some jazz and then some people hanging out on the side. Now this is a perfect example of the third place phenomenon, where people are looking for a third place to go outside of their home, outside of their work, and so they want to find another place to hang out at. So here we have this world that they've built up right in front of a salon where people are actively hanging out, cutting hair, and just living. And so that brings up the question of, do I belong here? Because as you're making a video for somebody and you're trying to appeal to them, do they fuck with this vibe or not? Do they like this vibe? And so that pops up in the head subconsciously. Now, the second time that somebody watches this video, which if they like the first time, the watch value, the aesthetics, the place, they feel like they belong here. The second time is for ambiance, which for people like me, work from home people, they need to put something on, because otherwise if I don't put anything on, it just feels like it's a boring place. But if I am here virtually enjoying this third space to hang out with, listening to music, rocking with them, then I feel more inclined to put something on like this. And because of that, this keeps me as an audience retained. So the whole thing with this is the first time they see it, like the first time they watch your video, is to test out the vibe. It's very much like going to your favorite coffee shop for the first time. You go in, you have to test out the vibe and see if you like this vibe or not. After a few times, maybe you're like, hey, I do like this coffee shop. So it becomes your favorite coffee shop. It's also like going to an event or a group meetup. When you go to that event, and something that's really popular these days is the morning run clubs or a Sunday run club or something. First time you go to the event, you have to feel it out, right? You have to see if this vibes with me. You have to see if I fit in with this community and do I appreciate this community. And so the same thing with these DJ mix sets is that, do they feel like they belong with this community based on the music, the aesthetics, and the way that this world is built? And so we'll conclude this video with the resharing part of this. Let's talk about the why people want to reshare these videos. And I want to pull up an example of something that I actually reshared the other day at a friend's house. I was there, I was hanging out, and we're like, hey, let's put on some music. So I put this on. This is Yuna's room, and she has a mix with funky disco and French house. And like I was just saying, if this vibe is right, people want to bring other people to this vibe, this world, this event. Because one, it communicates their values. Two, it shows who they are to their friends. Like if this is a good mix, then it gives them some social credit as well. And three, it just sets the mood and it makes for a fun thing that someone else can experience together. So people want to share this. Now, with Yuna's room here, the reason, I'll list a couple reasons why I want to reshare and why I did reshare it. The first one is, this is something that I would likely play at a friend's house because the music is good. First of all, because that sets the mood for everything. So we could chill like together, me and a friend or a couple friends, and we could chill and talk and hang out, and this could play in the background. Two, the vibe is nice. Even though this is a house, the way it's framed, the way everything is set up, it is nice. And one thing I need to mention is that if something is framed not well, like this shot is framed very well. She uses elements that has her in the front part of the room, like 2/3 of the way, and then there's just a small bit in the back. It's essentially kind of similar to what I have here. Is like from this part down to that part, it's kind of like 2/3 of the way, and then that wall is a bit further back. So similar framing element. So I put that into consideration as well. And then the space that she has here is well curated, even though it's minimal and even though it's a house. So if you look at it, you can see the microwave, the knife set in the back, and these are all really subtle as well. But you can notice that these are thought out things. It's not just something that's bought and thrown together. And even if you look at the coffee cup, the way that she has the vacuum cleaner next to the plant, the vacuum cleaner even looks like it's part of the decoration of the house, but it's actually just a vacuum cleaner. And then the painting and the neck pillow, I also have that neck pillow that shows like, hey, maybe she's a traveler. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not really an audiophile, but maybe someone who is could recognize these headphones, and also someone who mixes music could probably recognize the equipment that she's working on. And all of this shows taste, because show and taste represents who you are. And taste together, all of these different elements come together and shows what her taste is. If her taste matches with whoever's watching this video, then that is a shared value. And so that branding of hers is something that this person is more likely to share and have represent themselves as. And also a big one that is subtle is the light on the top left corner. You might have missed it, but it is a throwback to a mid-century modern. I like to call it modern, mid-century modern, because a lot of well thought out curated spaces these days have mid-century modern furniture or design aspects, or take design cues from mid-century modern things. And so this is one of them, the light in the top left. And so the third reason why this is something that I would share is because it's a curated virtual third space. It's where people can spend time. So me and my friends, we're all hanging out, we could spend time here in this world. And it could also represent me. It shows that, hey, I like good music, I like good aesthetics, and I like something that's modern and fun. And it builds a world. Because for somebody that's working at home, or somebody that's not at the event right now, you could feel like you are at this fun event by listening to this music, seeing this decoration, seeing this world that's built from this DJ mix set. So that's all I have for today. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, comment, and yeah.